Hi, I'm Doug, your tech support representative here at Atlantic British, and in this video we're going to touch base on another one of our maintenance kits we have available for the 2002 to 2005 Freelander. Now, this kit in particular is a kit that supplies you with the air filter and the remote key fob battery, and you're wondering why the two would come together. It's because they're both generally recommended to be done at the same time. And it's like when you check your batteries on your smoke detector for daylight savings time. It's a good idea. If you do one, you should do the other. When these batteries get weak, it can create problems with the locking mechanisms and whatnot, so you want to keep a good fresh battery in there all the time. Air filter, self-explanatory. A good clean filter on a regular basis is going to improve your fuel economy and your engine performance. If you live in a dusty or a high pollen area, you want to change these a little bit more often than that. So, the kit's available, and you can actually download and copy this sheet on our website that lists not only this kit, but all the other maintenance kits that we have available for the Freelander. So, the kit is our air filter element and key fob battery kit. Part number is ESR 4238SKA. And again, like I said, we'll come with a new air filter element, and it'll come with a key fob. Now, what we have here is a 03 Freelander that we're going to show you how to install the air filter assembly and how to change the battery over. Alright, so we're going to change the air filter over on the Freelander, and if you notice, there's no air box. In this particular engine design, the air filter is actually installed into the engine cover. So we're going to show you. It's actually quite easy. There are two clamps on the inlet side and outlet. You have your air induction on this side, draws through the air filter into this elbow, past the mass airflow sensor, and into the throttle body. So you just need to loosen these two clamps and put that aside. Here's your note: if you first get into this and you see some rust buildup and whatnot on the clamps, a little penetrating oil and letting it sit for a bit makes a world of difference. Now, down in the front of the engine, you'll see two plastic knobs, and they simply unscrew. Just a 180 turn, and they release. And then in the back, you have a rubber pull strap right here, and you're just going to pull up and then push that up into the firewall to release that. Grab both sides of the box, give a little wiggle, the hoses will release, and just flip it upside down. Now, the air filter is basically hidden underneath this heat shield. You got 4 posi drive screws. We lift our heat shield. This is your air box where your air filter is mounted. And you have 2 small screws up in front, which are set up where you can either use a number 25 Torx drive or a deep 8mm or 5/16 socket. Usually quarter drive works very well to remove those. So we're going to use the socket, and we're going to use that to remove this box. Alright, so we removed the 2 screws on the front that hold the box in place. You lift up and then pull away from you, because the box actually slides into a segment here on the top of the cover. You can already see we got some debris in there. This filter's been in there for a while, so we're going to lift that out, take that out. Now's a good chance. Let's get all that debris out of there. We'll dump this, and we'll vacuum out the inside of the upper box, the upper chamber, and then we'll put this all back together. So we've cleaned out the upper chamber and we've cleaned out the box. Now, before you reinstall it, we want to just check the condition of the foam around the outside edge of the box where it seals against the upper chamber, so that we know we got a decent seal. If this is all broken down or whatnot, we can probably replace it. I don't think the foam is available separately. You would need to replace it with a new cover. But should this foam be broken down or basically non-existent, you can be drawing in dirt and air that will bypass the filter and be drawing it directly into the engine, so that's obviously not a good thing. So, element side down. We're going to drop that into the box. Get that in place, slide it forward, and you'll see the other end will drop right down. We'll line up the holes for those 2 screws, and we'll reinstall the screws. Alright, so now we just put the heat shield back on, the same location as when we took it out. We've replaced our screws, and we just need to lift and spin. The easiest way to put these in is to drop the front in first, and then the back end. Get your hoses lined up. You got, remember the 2 front knobs up front. Just turn those approximately 180 and you'll feel them lock down. The pull tab in the back, we lift up and pull over that little knob on the back of the upper cover. Push our hoses in place. Tighten up our clamps, and then we're good to go. So this is a maintenance you want to do on a pretty regular basis. As I said, this can definitely affect both fuel economy and performance of the engine. So now that we've changed over the air filter, now we're going to change the battery over on the key fob. Now here's your fob normally used on the Freelanders. It's double button, and these are easy. They just open like a clamshell. And you're going to take a small straight blade screwdriver and just carefully insert right into the seam. Give a little twist. You'll see it rise. There we go. So we lift straight up. You'll see the battery sitting right in its chamber. Now you're going to note the orientation of this battery. When you slide it out, you have a positive side and a negative side. And you'll see actually a positive mark or a plus sign on the top of the battery. You'll notice that it's a CR2032. Your negative side's on the bottom. So this battery actually is good, if just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to install it back in. Again, orientation with positive side up. Slide it underneath the front tangs. Push that right into place. Essentially put your cover back together. A little squeeze just to make sure you'll feel it latch in place and pop. And just going to hit the buttons just to make sure this is operating. As you can hear, it just went into lock and unlock. So we've got a new battery back in place, and we're good for another 30,000 miles. So when you're ready to change over your air filter and battery and your key fob, just call any of our knowledgeable salesmen at 1-800-533-2210. And thanks for watching.